is the Glass Cannon Network.
Welcome back. We have returned to the city of Doskvol. Here we are. It's the return of Haunted City. I couldn't be more excited to be here. My name is Jared Logan. I'm the GM of this game. We play Blades in the Dark on this show. Blades in the Dark, the incredible RPG from John Harper and Evil Hat Studios. And with me, returning to the city of ghosts, I have Josephine, McAdam, Salim, and Ross Bryant. Please give them a big round of applause as you sit at home, everybody, or even in your car. Take the hands off the wheel and give them a round of applause. Oh, you just crashed. Okay, worth it. Worth it.
So worth it.
Here we are, guys. We've been on a long hiatus. What has everybody been up to?
Oh, man, everything and nothing.
Gosh.
Same time,
Abu got married.
I'm married.
That's everything.
Literally everything. Mm-hmm. Honestly, got a baby on the way. That's everything.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are going to top that. Well, okay, I won't speak for everyone. I can't top those achievements in that time.
No, you know, Abu, you've never experienced true joy until you hand the baby to your partner and say, you watch him, I have to go pretend to be a warrior in a steampunk city.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fight that argument and be like, baby, I got to do this today. I got to do this just now. Just give me 6 hours, okay?
Yeah, it only takes 6 hours.
Oh, man.
What about you, Ross Bryant? What have you been up to during the summer hiatus? Has it been a hot Ross summer?
It's been, everybody's talking about it. It's setting the internet on fire. It's an HRS trending across every platform. I've just been having lots of fun in the sun, hanging out in jean shorts, washing cars, surfing, cutting it up on the boardwalk in my rollerblades, and
getting your hair all wet and then flinging your head back.
Yeah, flinging it back in a big cascade that catches the sunlight. All the good stuff. And don't worry, the breakdancing competition we held did save the youth center. So
yes,
everybody can sleep soundly knowing that happened.
I didn't know that was a summer activity until now. Now. What about you, Josephine? Any breakdancing competitions?
Oh God, I wish. No, what I did some hunting on the Glass Cannon Network, at least. A little bit of hunting. I'd like that your eyes lit up as if you were ready for me to tell an actual hunting story. Now I feel I've disappointed.
Yeah, we played Hunter the Reckoning with Josephine. I thought you were about to go, I got a buck.
12 point. Yeah.
No, I used a knife. I went in with my bare hands and wrestled.
You wrestled a deer to the ground?
Yes. Yeah. That's what all the martial arts training has actually been for, so that I can hand-to-hand combat some wild animal. Have you met those people that think they can do that?
No, I haven't met them.
They're nuts.
They think they can wrestle a wild animal.
Yeah. They think that they're like, because they're like somehow trained in some way that they can take on a wild animal. Anyway.
I've never even heard of that. I've heard of alligator wrestling.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's an
Americans, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Gotta come on down to America, boo. We're punching deer and wrestling alligators and grabbing doves out of the air.
If you visit America, you must visit Florida.
Oh,
it is
wow. That's
the most normal, inviting, friendly place.
Sounds it.
I've gotten to avoid Florida this whole time, so I feel that's a win.
Every time, I remember watching Atlanta and they were like, oh, have you met like the Florida man? And I'm like, do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, like, as a Brit watching that, you're thinking, wow, what kind of human being is has almost like a superhero name by Florida man? That's terrifying. You know, you've got like Batman, Spider-Man, Florida man.
Florida man. He's more of a villain, really. Yeah, Florida when I was a kid used to be just where you went to Disney World, and now it's the headquarters of QAnon. So, it's had a little bit of a sea change. But if you are from Florida and you're listening, we kid out of love.
I'm sure you're fine.
I'm sure you're fine. You're one of the good ones. But
that's your Florida man.
Pardon me. Well, speaking of places that are scary to go to, is everybody ready to visit Doskvol?
I've been waiting so long.
Oh, we finally get to return. Well, in that case, 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Doskvol is a metropolis of factories and tenements, surrounded by a wall of crackling lightning towers. Outside the city is a wasteland of vengeful spirits. Inside the city is a teeming hive of scum and villainy, intrigue and corruption. Life is cheap in a city ruled by death. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Doskvol are the blades in the dark.
Amen.
Yes. Amen. So here we are. We are running a score today. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger, about to start into a new score, and we have a new character with us, the sister of Selyak Khan, Kronz Khan. Tell us a little bit about Kronz, Josephine, as we get started here.
Wow. Do we need to go over, I don't know, her physical description? What did I tell you? Oh gosh, we've had a break.
Well, we know that she has glowing, that's okay. We know that she has glowing veins.
Yes.
Like she's a little bit translucent like Selyak,
Yes,
but
slightly
instead of
translucent.
black bones, you see glowing veins.
Yes.
And we know that she likes to run in elite circles, even though she herself maybe is not a noble.
No, yeah, so she's always in finery and decadent, always perfectly coiffed, and I think she moves with a little sway, as she walks as well, and it's all very enticing and alluring.
Yes, and she brought the score to the group, so we will be getting into Kronz's score in a moment. I noticed that Kronz is very good at consort. Kronz is very good at, let's see, what are her other attributes that are her actions?
She went heavy in consort, and then is got a pretty good study, and then the rest is just one dot and here and there.
Right, so she is an intellectual and social character, and I can't wait to see. I feel like the Remnant generally has been pretty action oriented in some ways, so it should be really interesting to see how Kronz mixes with this group. And of course, we have Selyak Khan and Valkos joining us again. And the thing that's interesting, I think, about those two characters right now is that they're going in with maybe not a lot of stress, but with a bit of harm, right?
Yes, actually. Oh my God, I do have harm.
Yes.
Yes. I currently have the condition bleeding.
Yes. So what we finally deciphered about, and not that it was hard to decipher, but it takes me, I'm slow. What we finally figured out about harm is that you do take the penalty. For example, for your bleeding harm, you will have less effect in situations where it would matter. Okay? So I don't think that we've described your bleeding as it's just a seeping wound. It's not like your jugular's been cut and you're hemorrhaging blood.
Simply a seeping wound.
You have a seeping wound on your neck.
Simple seep.
It's a seepy seep.
Yeah, just a simple seep. And Selyak has kind of kind of a little jaunty cravat up around his neck, but that you can slowly see the little Rorschach test of a blood stain forming on.
Wow.
Exactly. So if you have even one harm on a level 1 or a level 2, it gives you that penalty, but only in situations where it would matter. Okay. So the bleeding, I think, it looks like that'll hurt him socially. I think that we'd all understand why. Another situation may come up where it gives him less effect. But, Selyak's looking pretty good. Selyak's looking pretty good, all told. Let's look at Valkos. Valkos has
bruised
2
and panicked.
harms. Yeah, and both of those, they kind of get you coming and going, because panicked is going to mess with your ability to socialize, maybe even plan or strategize, and bruised is gonna, Valkos is going in with ow, my back. But Valkos is a juggernaut, so I'm not too worried about Valkos. Let's talk about the score. This is what you were charged with, okay?
Right.
The score is to steal an artwork from Quelena Childermass. She's a White Crown noble, and replace it with a forgery before she unveils the artwork to a bunch of elites, and in that way you will embarrass her horribly. Fitz, a collector, your contact, got in touch with Kron's Khan in order to carry this out. So Fitz is probably annoyed that Quelena got her hands on this artwork instead of him, or maybe he's annoyed that he wasn't invited to the party where it's going to be unveiled. But whatever the case, Fitz wants Quelena Childermass to be horribly embarrassed that she has a forgery, that she unveils a forgery to the elites of Doskvol. The work of art is by the great master Vintaro Shook. It's a Shook original. And it seems that there's some sort of party happening where she's going to unveil this. You know that right now. You can certainly do a little information gathering if you want before the score, and then we're gonna jump right into the score. You guys know how it works. We pick out our approach in detail, and then we are in it. So let me know if everybody would like to do some sort of one thing I thought of is you need the fake artwork, right?
Right.
And that's an asset, right? So because Kron's Khan didn't take any downtime activities last time, Kron's I will allow to acquire the asset. Should we try that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Kron's, you need to acquire a fake version of this Vintaro Shook original. Actually, maybe we need a little information gathering before Kron's acquires a fake, because you don't quite know what the artwork is yet, do you? Maybe Fitz could have told you. Actually, Fitz...
You know who I'm friends with?
Who?
Salia, an information broker.
Ah, very good. Yes. Okay, Salia. Excellent. And so you visit Salia at the coffee house where Salia does business. And Salia is constantly sucking down mushroom coffee. And that is where Salia meets various people that come in and pay her for information. And so when you sit down with Salia, she's like, yes? Have we met before?
I take off my sunglasses. My shawl. It is me, Kron's.
Yes, we corresponded via mail.
That is correct. Yes, I'm looking for a, little piece of whispers about certain artwork that Miss Childermass is going to be debuting soon.
Yes, the White Sybil. Yes,
the White Sybil.
Yes, it's on everybody's lips. It's a very, very important piece of art created by the great Vintaro Shook.
Why is it so important?
It's just one of his masterpieces.
Of course.
It depicts a veiled woman, all in alabaster or ivory. It's a white stone.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, it's a beautiful sculpture.
Where did she acquire this piece?
Well, recently, the death of another elite allowed some of his assets to go up at auction, and that is where she purchased it, but at a great cost.
And is this an open invite? The event she's going to? I would love to see this piece.
An open invite? I should say not. No, only the elite of the art world in Doskvol will be invited.
Of course.
There are very few guests.
Who would I speak to in order to get invited to such an event?
I'm afraid that may be something I don't know. Yeah, perhaps you need to know Quilena Childermass herself. As I said, it's going to be a small party.
Understood. I will do what I can then. Thank you for this information.
Yes, that will be 1 coin.
I'll, I don't know, pull out a coin. Does she have any coin?
Does she have any coin?
She doesn't have it. You don't start with coin, do you?
You know, I'll tell you what. If you go ahead and let's see. How do we do this?
She's gotta have sub coin. How about I give her a fine bottle of whiskey that's in my items?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Well, coin. You know, there's what a coin equals is sort of in the game here.
Oh yeah.
And I think that a fine bottle of whiskey, 1 coin. I think she'll accept that. Can you mark it off on your inventory?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so no matter what your loadout is, it's 1 less for the score.
1 less. Yeah, no whiskey. Okay.
All right. Very good.
This is a beautifully aged whiskey from the Isles of Severos.
Well, I only drink coffee, but it may be good for barter. Our debt is settled. If you'll excuse me. And there's, you notice that there's someone else waiting right behind you. This, like, pirate-looking guy who has knives all over his leather duster.
Of course. Glasses go back on the shawl. Oh, goodbye. And she floats away.
Good day. So, you make your way out of the bustling coffee shop, back into the street, and you've learned some things. You've learned that it is a sculpture that you must replace, called the White Sibyl, and it is up to you with that information, knowing that, and I'm sure that Salia gave you the date of the party. You know that already, or Fitz gave you that.
Yeah. Can I confer with my new friends and brother?
I think you should. Yeah.
So what we're trying to replace here is a beautiful sculpture. You wouldn't know any sculptors, builders of sorts that could
you should
perhaps
stand instead of the sculpture.
Oh, Valkos. You flatter me,
No, I'm serious. Wouldn't it be fantastic?
And
Taking
then
the sculpture and having you there. If it's a small party, we can handle them. They wouldn't just expect it or anything.
and how would I leave?
We'll find a way.
I have no doubt that Velkos could provide a suitable exit from an awkward situation such as the one he describes. However, I'm not so sure that you are equipped to make good your escape, being the focal point of such a tableau.
I fear it might be difficult to convince the entire group of art collectors and savants of that I am a sculptor. Though I do appreciate the sentiment.
It sounds like the group is planning, so I think that we should go into the planning phase, and we should deal with some of this stuff in flashbacks if we need to.
Okay.
Yes, that's
I would
right.
like to know.
That's
I guess we can know.
Listen, if people are like, I have to have an information gathering roll, please stop me. And if you think you want that sculpture, I would like to acquire an asset. But if Kronz is going to stand stock still under a tarp, well,
I was going to actually do one roll, which is essentially beat someone up to get the keys of the place, like either like some form of, guises or be out of the security or learning a bit more about the actual space of the night. If that makes any sense.
You'd like to learn more about the location and the space with an
yes.
information gathering role.
Yeah.
Let me know. It sounds like you're beating people up to do that.
Yeah. I'll probably beat a guard up.
A little risky, but if you would go ahead and roll your action in order to do that.
It could be skirmish, wouldn't it?
Skirmish, yeah. Roll your skirmish.
Would it be what position?
I think that because you're just gathering information, I don't think that you're actually beating people to a pulp. I think that you're kind of scaring them or threatening them. So I think that you can roll it at controlled or standard effect, and we'll see how much information you gather.
Okay, 5, 3, 3.
5, 3, and 3. Okay, so you gather, with that 5, you gather some good information. So the information you gather is that her manse is not quite like, remember you visited the Widow Song's manse in White Crown, and it was almost like a townhouse? Well, I think that Quilena Childermass is much more moneyed than even the Widow Song. Her house is more of a villa with an enormous indoor kind of garden area filled with statues. She has like a statue garden. And this is undoubtedly where the soiree is going to take place. She will debut the statue in its new place in her stone garden. The rest of the house is all one level, but it sprawls. You know, it's a colonnaded sort of villa like you might find in ancient Rome in our reality. And in terms of security, let's see, with a 5, I'll let you know that security seems minimal or non-existent. The people that you kind of like grab off the street, they're just helpers. They're servants. They're not like security people.
Okay. I relay this to the team.
And not to belabor it, but I feel like Celiac might also like to gather his own sort of information.
Okay. All right.
Having recently become more intimately acquainted with the relationship that exists between the maker and their material, and how each work of art contains, as it were, a spark of the soul of the creator that devised it. Is there anything peculiar about this artwork of an arcane sort?
That's a great question. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what action you're going to roll to gather information about this artwork, the White Sybil?
Yeah, especially considering the White Sybil. That's a very occultic name. Sibyls are like prophetesses and witches. So I guess I'll yeah, can I attune? Can I reach out and see if there is something?
You can.
Yeah. Great. Let's go.
Listen.
Here we go.
Oh, no, it's not controlled for you.
Uh-oh.
The ghosts
I did
of
badly.
Doskvol, the ghosts of Doskvol are angry at Celiac Khan.
Oh, right.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
And attuning in this way, I assume, is speaking to ghosts, unless there is a different way that Celiac would somehow reach out into the ether and learn about this statue.
No, I think that's kind of his way of going about it.
So it is risky for limited effect.
Oh my god.
That's all great. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh no. Okay. The ghosts. This is horrifying to you, Celiac. But when you kind of do your ritual and take your meditative stance, the ghosts are shunning you. None come to your summons.
Yeah, and I think maybe that he like has a piece of stone as if in front of him, just like an uncut piece of stone, as if to kind of like reach through the material components to seek out other like ghosts that know of like the geological core of whatever this marble is that was cut.
I'm gonna
like,
tell you, Kronz is definitely watching you behind your shoulder too the entire time.
No wonder you can't concentrate.
It's like it's harder when don't do it with an audience. And, but yeah, like it's the kind of thing where like if the kind of the inner eye opens and where I'd normally expect like a spirit to be kind of coming to me maybe with information, I just see their faces turned away from me, but the bodies are still facing me, but the faces are like 180 degrees.
Right, the heads
flipped.
just twist backwards, yeah. And then the ghosts sort of fade away from you, moving through the spirit realm to parts unknown. And you are left feeling very alone, even though your sister is standing right behind you.
Same as always.
Spiritual forces are sometimes reluctant, as the artist is, to divulge the secrets of their craft and knowledge.
I'm sure that happens all the time.
And now I think we will enter our planning stage. And I would like you to choose your approach for your crew.
Oh,
Will it
God.
be assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport?
Deception.
Those approaches
deception,
again
right?
are assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport. So I will just throw some things out there as your game master. It is a deception at some level. That doesn't have to be your approach.
Sure.
But luring, tricking, or manipulating, at some point you are switching out an artwork for another one. A heavy artwork, in fact, a statue made of stone. That should be interesting. Social seems like a possibility. And the reason why is because it's a party, right? And you need to get invited to the party, possibly. You don't have to get invited. You guys could sneak in or break in and attack. I don't know. But social seems like something that seems very probable here. But then there's also stealth. There's also occult, which I know plays to the Revenant's strengths.
I think either... Right, yeah, I think social or deception, right? Will probably
Yeah,
be
I think
That
the
sounds
likely
right, yeah.
approach.
I think maybe you guys are stronger probably socially than I am at it, but I can always be like, the bodyguard.
Yeah, perhaps social then.
Okay. Is everybody agreed to that?
Interesting. This is going to be really interesting. I
We've
cannot
never done
wait.
it before.
We have never done social. This is going to be so chaotic. Let's go.
Yeah,
What's
I guess
new?
we'd have to. Okay, sure. I mean, especially since we've just said that Selyak is handicapped for social tests.
Buddy, I'm panicked, so I might just break someone's neck.
Great.
The pressure is on.
Yeah.
The pressure is on. This could be... This is just going to a party right now, but it's already seeming sort of dangerous.
Yes.
So, we have to come up with the detail. And for a social score, the detail is the social connection. How are you connected to these people socially?
I assume that I know a noble, right? There's got to be someone that I know.
Yeah,
Amongst
absolutely. Yes, there is someone that you know. It's actually the lowest sort of ranking person there in terms of status. You know an artist, Lafayette Brahm, who will be attending.
Okay.
Lafayette Brahm. And he is a working artist. Maybe one of the people that's coming up in the art world of Doskvol. A tortured soul, as all the great artists are.
Right.
Living in a garret, his face spattered with paint and plaster.
Yeah.
So he's your social connection. And is there anything else you'd like to tell me about your social approach or the detail of your social connection?
Might I pitch that because, like, maybe, I don't know if there, because we're a kind of peculiar bunch.
Yeah.
Strange is one of our trademarks.
Yeah.
At artist gatherings or like an art opening, you'll see like the patron class there, like with the white wine and the jacket. But then there'll always be some actual like art students and artists there, like looking like human cartoons, like next to the sort of moneyed class of everything. If we could maybe pose as artists ourselves, or at least if Celiac and
should we do deception? I feel like we should do deception, perhaps. Because I feel like we're coming in here posing as other things. Like, we're not coming in here as ourselves, are we?
Yeah. I mean,
would
social deception, what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at a certain point, all of these sort of blend together a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, even assault sometimes involves some deception or stealth.
That's true.
So
okay.
Let's stick with social for right
Okay,
now.
okay.
What the hell? Why not?
Why not?
And so your connection is your friend Lafayette Brom, and now we're coming to the engagement roll. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Well, first of all, you get one die for free, right? Then, aha! I've dropped one. Hold on, give me 10 minutes.
Quick plan!
Yeah, all right, so one die for free. Then is this operation particularly bold or daring? I don't know, is it?
Yes.
Why?
Because look at us. Put it in context, right?
Just
look at us
party.
and look at the plan we're going. Look at the thing that we're doing. Like, we're not built for this.
I'm going to give it to you because we just talked about how you guys are actually socially handicapped as you go into this social score.
It also sounds like, yeah. Carry on.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? No. If these people are good at anything, it's socializing. That's what they're strong at.
But maybe that's their weakness because they're so confident about it.
Hubris, pride goeth before a fall, you know?
Maybe, but no. Okay. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Yes. So that is true. And here's what I want you to keep in mind when you're doing flashbacks or just as you're carrying out the score. Fitz, a collector, your crew's main contact, and Lafayette Brom, the person that you've mentioned as the social connection, and even Kronz, actually, to some extent, knows about this world, knows the people in it. All of these people know what to expect here, so I'm giving you a die for that. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Nah. All right, now what am I going to take away for? Because I have to take away for any weaknesses in the engagement. And let's see. Is there a major disadvantage to this score? Yes. The major disadvantage, I think, is that it's a man-sized statue that you have to replace.
Mm-hmm.
That seems extremely difficult, especially having just chosen a social approach. So here we go. Here comes the engagement roll. And we are looking at a 5 and a 6. You're in a controlled position when the action starts. So it's a controlled position going into the score. That's really exciting for you guys. You're starting off having already jumped the first hurdle. So I would like to set the scene.
I'm shocked.
As all of you...
Honestly.
As all of you brush past the man at the door into the statuary garden with Lafayette Brom.
We're in.
You're in. That's what a controlled position does for you. You don't have to talk your way through. You are in. Lafayette Brom just sent a note to Quilena Childermass saying, I'm going to be bringing some fellow artists with me. And of course she couldn't say no to a rising star in the art world. A talented new sculptor like Lafayette Brom. And so as you all enter, Lafayette, who is in a really kind of shabby what I would call is like a dandy's suit. Almost looks like 18th century with like, a little ruff at the front of it, but it's kind of shabby. Like he pulled it out of the mothballs. Turns to you. He has like a shaved head. He's completely like bald on top, but he's young. He's maybe only like 21 or 22, which is why he was maybe so easily manipulated by Kronz. And he looks at Kronz and he's like, so, you're not going to embarrass me here, right? I mean, I need the patronage of some of these people.
Oh no, we are gonna get you so many patrons, my dear. And I would like to specify that at this point, I am in a complete alternate identity because I have a fine cover identity in my loadout. Special spider item only. And
that reminds me of something, my friend.
Our loadouts?
Our loadouts, the thing I always forget, but this is a great way to segue into it. What's everyone's loadout? And I mean, it's almost a foregone conclusion. It would be weird to be carrying even a medium loadout here, right?
What? No.
I would think
gonna
I
do
could
normal,
be heavy, right? Because I'm a bodyguard.
Oh, right. You're going as a bodyguard. So, yeah, you can take the regular loadout.
The regular. I can't take heavy.
You're going to take the heavy loadout where you're bristling with weapons and people can tell you're loaded for bear?
No, I'm going to go normal.
Normal. Okay, right. Okay, and what about you, Selyak Khan?
I think Selyak has to be a little bit more plausibly social, so I'll do a light one.
Very good. And Kronz Khan?
I'm gonna do normal just because the items in my loadout are very small. It seems more like fineries and things, and I am trying to present very luxuriously.
I will agree to that as long as you don't at some point say that you pull out a ghost blasting rifle or something.
No.
So here you are, accoutered for the occasion, and you have just told your friend Lafayette that you will not embarrass him.
No, in fact, I want to be posing as a patron of his who has come with him to this party. So he's got a patron as well, and I feel like it's an identity that Kronz has probably used before at these parties. So some Miss Marybone.
Miss Marybone
just
is
take that
actually
from Monopoly.
A Monopoly. Marybone is a great name for a Doskvol elite, I think. So, yes. Ms. Marybone, you and your bodyguard and your fellow artist have entered the party. There are maybe 20 people milling about. They are being served a drink in flutes from the waiting hands of servants, and that drink is sort of blue and it crackles just a tiny bit. It has some sort of infused electroplasm in it. And they are sipping this, and some are laughing, and they are looking at the sculptures, and they are enjoying the balmy Doskvol day. So, what do you do? I always love it when I ask that question and there's a total stunned silence as part of the play.
Great question.
What are y'all doing?
So, I mean, I'm hanging with you unless I do anything else, but do we know much information about the lady? Do we know who she is? Can we spot her in the crowd? How she looks?
That's great. Yeah, you spot someone who must be Quilena Childermass. Her hair has been coiffed into this enormous bonnet of hair that stands at least a foot taller on her head, and she is in a, I would say, shockingly low-cut gown made of like red taffeta that kind of trails along behind her so far that a servant has to carry her train. And she's perfect, laughing. Right? She's laughing joyfully.
And we are in the courtyard that has all the statues.
You're in the statuary garden, yes.
Is there a statue that is like covered, the one to be revealed?
In
is
fact,
that within?
Right near Quilena Childermass is a covered statue. But what I want to tell you is that Valkos, you notice over near one of the columns that sort of flank this entire garden that there is a shadowy figure, kind of, in the shadow of the column nearby, that doesn't appear to be socializing or serving drinks.
I kind of go to the drinks are free, so I take 2 drinks, and then I lean in, and everyone, I'm like, I'll be right back. And I sort of move over towards the shadowy figure.
The shadowy figure does not move, but it's very off-putting. You're not quite sure if the person is facing you. It feels like their back is up against the column and they are looking at a blank wall, and they are still all in silhouette.
Hey.
The artist you came with. I want his hands.
I turn around and I sort of take the drinks and I put them back on the table and I just stand with everyone.
I love this. Okay. I would I would like to start moving along the groups of people, looking at the statues that are already there and sort of chit-chatting a bit.
Hello.
Hello, what an incredible...
I don't believe I've had the pleasure. This is a very short man in extremely thick spectacles with kind of like hair going off in 2 directions from his balded head. Very wide, kind of flaring curly gray hair. He's got a cravat and a fine coat on, and he is sipping from one of the champagne flutes.
Miss Marybone.
Marybone. Are you from outside of Doskvol?
I travel in every now and then. I've been at a few of these soirees before. I'm surprised we have not met just yet. And you are?
I am Christopher Tinmouth.
Is that Christopher?
So
Lovely.
what? You're from White Hollow or Wintercliff?
Whitehall.
White Hollow. I've spent a lot of time in White Hollow.
Oh, good.
Have you been to the Chancery?
The Chancery.
I think that his eyes are narrowing as he talks to you.
Okay. Jared, because I do not know the what is he saying to me right now?
Maybe Kronz doesn't know either, and that's the problem, isn't it?
And I kind of lean in and I go, "My lady,
Yes.
you're being summoned."
Of course. I'm so sorry, Christopher. I would love to speak some more soon.
Well, here's the problem. You can certainly pull her away, Valkos. You can certainly say that there's been a summons for her. But I'm going to make a clock, and that clock is called Quelena Discovers Your Scheme. And the more suspicious you make people, the more I'm going to fill in that clock. So either Valkos or Kronz needs to currently make Christopher Tinmouth think that this is true, that you have been summoned away, and that we're gonna make that a 6-segment clock, I think.
I guess what I'm asking is, he said, what are the places that he mentioned? Because I would know that a city or an area exists, right? Even if I don't know the details within it.
Oh, forgive me. Yes,
that's what I'm asking.
Your character would know that there is a city called White Hollow and a city called Wintercliff. Which one did you just say you were from?
I think White Hollow, and are they in Akaros?
They are in Akaros, that's correct.
Okay, that's what I wasn't. Okay.
Yes, they are cities that are south of Doskvol. One is on the southwest coast of the Akaros Island, and one is on the more southerly east coast of Akaros Island.
Okay. And White Hollow was to the south. Is that one southwest?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. I would love to speak more with you of White Hollow, but to be honest, I try to leave whenever I can because I love to appreciate the finer things in life, if you understand.
I suppose I understand, but I'm going to need some sort of action roll in order to convince me.
Okay, I actually don't know because I've never used this action before, but where can consort come into play?
Well, I think consort could certainly come into play now, couldn't it? I mean, consort is what you use to party with people. Let me read its exact description so that we know we're using it correctly, but I really think that we are. Let's see here. Yes. When you consort, you socialize with friends and contacts. You might gain access to resources, information, people, or places. You might make a good impression or win someone over with your charm and style. That sounds like exactly what you're doing. So you may use consort, of course, but remember, in Blades in the Dark, you can really use any action.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I'm speaking to, I will say, I've heard some odd whispers about Miss Quelena and where she sources her art. You haven't heard anything about that, have you? And I'm not trying to actually get information out of him. I mean, maybe he's got something, but it's mainly just planting a little like doubt, a little like
seed, yeah,
whisper
nice.
to start like whispering around.
Rumors.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a little rumor going.
Great. Okay. I will allow that, of course, and that's sort of how you're approaching this this consort role. Go ahead. You're trying to gossip a little bit, so
Yeah.
Go ahead. And here's what I'm going to tell you, though. I think that this is going to be risky,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be for limited effect. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Your bodyguard just said you're being summoned away.
Yeah.
And now you have plenty of time to gossip. So it seems like some contradictory information is coming into play here. So go ahead, and when you're ready, you may roll consort for risky limited effect. Now, of course, you can always push yourself to get more effect.
Oh yeah.
Can you also change your
Can't I
position to
trade?
get more effect?
A position, yeah, for effect. Yeah, wasn't that also a thing?
Right, so you're trying to trade, you're trying to make it desperate and then get more effect. Is that right?
Yeah.
How does
people...
this become desperate? That's all you have to tell me. Like, what are you doing that is making it desperate? And I love that our first roll is desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are like, hey, we need to go. And I'm like, yes, but hold on. Wait, yeah. One more. And I'm just like vying for just like one moment. I just need to get my 2 cents in before you pull me away from this. I'm like, yeah. There's like a back and forth that may be adding a little like questionability as to what I'm doing.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, let's. So you were kind of having a fight with your bodyguard. Is that okay to say?
Sure.
And so the acting that you need to do is a little bit more involved and emotional. So yes, let me hear you. Let me hear you reprimand your bodyguard, and then you may go ahead and begin gossiping and roll that consort roll. Of course.
I told you never to speak to me directly or look me in the eyes when I am speaking to another patron.
How does Valkos react?
He literally goes to do something and then suddenly he's like, I like that. And then just doesn't do anything.
Fucking Valkos, of course.
Yeah, Valkos responds to force. Okay. So, now let us go ahead and let's do what we came to do.
Okay, so now it's standard effect?
Now
Correct?
it is standard effect. That's right.
All right, here we go.
Oh, a 1, a 3, and a 3. That is a failure. And so, Tin
It's
Mouth.
a great start. The first social encounter in our social approach.
Tin Mouth is like, I'm afraid I have never heard such rumors. If you look around her, you can see that she already has a very large and authentic collection.
I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm so sorry. And
I'm telling you what I know.
of course, well, I will correct that. The one who spread this to me. I will tell them.
I suppose what passes for art in White Hollow is quite different from what passes for art in Doskvol.
I'm sure.
And now perhaps you want your bodyguard to pull you away.
Yes.
I
I
have-
kind of like grab, like for Valkos, like sort of tap him.
Yeah, and I slowly just delicately touch your hand and lead you away.
If you'll excuse me. Other matters call.
I have just created the Quilena discovers your skiing clock.
Shit.
And I am going to tick 1 pie of it.
That's
so
fair.
So,
So
I love how that went.
can I have a flashback?
Here we go.
Yes. Yes.
now you're playing the game. Of
Gonna need
course
'em,
you
baby.
can have a flashback.
So, is it possible that there is, with my information gathering, finding out like where the location is and whatnot, that there is like a sort of thin, like very thin, easy lifting sort of like column thingamajig, which I've placed sort of behind somewhere secretive that I will be using to replace the statue with.
Okay, so you're saying you want a flashback to where you were kind of hanging out around the building and
Yes.
you placed a column that is a fake column?
It's almost like it's an easily manageable thing to pick up and replace, essentially. But
Almost
it
like
looks,
a plaster.
Yeah,
column.
but the idea is that the shape of it will look human, but it's not like a mannequin, for example, because I could imagine that it looks like it looks like a pillar. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is there a place that I could have flashbacked and placed this thing ready for the move to actually switch everything around, do the switcheroo?
Right. Okay. So, just to make this sort of realistic, I think that perhaps it's back in a maintenance closet or shed that kind of surrounds the proceedings, and I think that you could have gotten it in here with the help of that servant you roughed up earlier.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But I want to know what action you used to force the servant to do that. And I also want you to roll 1 die for your tier to see what kind of an asset you acquired. Actually, I want Kronz to do that because it looks like you guys did acquire, a fake here. And I want Kronz to roll to see, just roll 1 die for a tier one crew to see.
Okay.
And then there's no really position or effect. This is just an acquire asset roll.
So I'll just roll something that has 1 die because I don't know how to roll a die.
Yep.
Okay, I'll just do. Why are you doing this to me? Roll 20.
Maybe this is okay though, because you don't need this to be high quality. It's supposed to be an obvious fake, right?
Oh, that's true.
And in fact, what Valkos just told me is that it doesn't even really look like the White Sybil at all. It's just sort of a shape of a human, right? Okay. Valkos, your flashback. What action did you use to get this into the building?
Maybe prowl.
That sounds excellent. Go ahead and roll your prowl for me in this flashback.
Would it be controlled?
I think since it's a flashback, sure. Controlled for standard effect.
5.
Okay, success with a complication. You know what? I think that your flashback only costs 2 stress. Okay? And you are currently, Valkos, looking at this like terrible. Remember when they restored that Virgin Mary and they accidentally made it look like a spider monkey?
Oh yeah.
This is like the most jacked up, like terrible statue you've ever seen. It's like half finished. It doesn't really look like a person. The eye is in the wrong place. It's a mess. And you are currently pulling this out of the maintenance closet, and you realize now that you must somehow get it under the white sheet and get the white Sybil out at a party full of people. How will that happen? I honestly don't know, but right now we're going to take a short ad break, and when we come back, it's up to our players to figure that out. We'll be right back with more Haunted City on the Glass Cannon Network. Oh, hey there, it's me again. You know, we play a lot of Blades in the Dark on the Glass Cannon Network, which is why I am so proud to have as our sponsor Blades in the Dark OM Edition. OM is OMM, One More Multiverse, and this is an entire platform to take your Blades in the Dark game to the next level. You can create pixelated 8-bit style avatars for your character, complete character portraits. They have interactive character sheets that roll the dice for you, that keep track of the rules for you. There's also a complete interactive map of Doskvol with locations you can click on and enter, an immersive environment where the different districts come to life with all the scum, grime, and horrifying crime that Doskvol has to offer. It's all there. It's all in your computer, blasted straight into your eyes and the eyes of your players, and blowing your mind. You have got to check out Blades in the Dark OM Edition as soon as you can. It's available for purchase on October 13th, and you can find it at multiverse.com/blades. Go out and get it. Take your game to the next level. Burst through the lightning barrier into the wasteland of spirits that is Blades in the Dark OM Edition. That is at 10/13, October 13th. You can purchase it at multiverse.com/blades. Welcome back. We're in the middle of a score in Doskvol, the haunted city. We're playing Blades in the Dark on the Glass Cannon Network, and our characters, Selyak Khan, Kranz Khan, and Valkos, are in the midst of a soiree, an art unveiling held by the beautiful and ravishing Quelena Childermass here in the vaunted heights of White Crown in her statuary garden. And we have just seen Valkos unveil his replacement, a very shoddy piece of artwork that he had sort of intimidated and then prowled into the building to squirrel away in a maintenance closet nearby. And so I will now ask, what's next?
So I thought it'd be great is if, and I just pull out a pistol, I fire this somewhere, get everyone to get panicked. They panic for a second. Then suddenly we replace the statue with this.
Well, you guys have worked out this plan ahead of time anyway, so is Valkos arming a pistol right now?
To create a chaotic distraction?
Well, I kind of like, I show a pistol. I've got like I got a pistol here because I'm a bodyguard, right? So,
Well, let's see what's happening to Selyak Khan. Actually, keep that pistol locked and loaded, Valkos. I think you've just shown it to Kranz, maybe surreptitiously, like I'm ready to go. And meanwhile, Selyak, you're milling about the party. And
I think it's those electroplasmic drinks keep coming over, and it's just giving it to just fending those off.
Quilena Childermass and Lafayette Brom suddenly are standing beside you. And Quilena says, Lafayette, you must introduce me to your artist friend. I don't believe we've made the acquaintance. Yeah, this is, well, he prefers to introduce himself.
Yes, I no longer approve of the conventions of typical naming. I consider my life to be a work of art. And so for the moment, I am beyond labels.
How very fascinating. So I don't call you anything. You are simply you.
Just so.
Well, if I may ask, is your life the only work that you create?
I am a restorer and devotee of the old folk art of Tycheros.
And I'm afraid I'm not familiar with Tycherosi art. I must admit I wasn't aware that they created any. I thought that their civilization had not quite advanced to that level.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I assure you.
I knew that there were religious feelings among the Tycherosi, that you create idols that you worship to.
There is something in the chaotic spirit that creates. All of us are merely aspects of this, and what it leaves behind is art. We are the artwork of the force that animates us, and what we create is the artwork of our own hands, which in turn is the work of those hands, in a never-ending chain of creation. Do you understand?
Does she understand? In fact, her eyes are narrowing just like our friend Christopher Tinmouth. So you must let me know what action you're taking, because Lafayette Brom is looking at you like this.
Trying to baffle her with them.
I'm making a very concerned face for those of you listening on the podcast.
This is Celiac kind of speaking what he actually believes, but also like his version of like international art English. I'm trying to delocalize the metaphysical nature of the bridge between observer and the observed. Can we ever know the thing itself? As he rambles.
I think that because he's talking about what he really believes in, that positions you pretty well.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, would this be... I mean, I guess I'll go with Consort also.
Okay, great. What is your score in Consort?
Just 1 dot.
Interesting.
No. I'm going to do... I mean, I have 1 dot in everything except finesse and attune. So, I don't know that I really have that many social things to begin with. Sway actually seems to make more sense to what I'm trying to do, which is also a 1 dot roll.
It does. It makes more sense. I see why you're saying that. Would you like to push yourself?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay. Would you like a devil's bargain?
Lay it on me.
Okay. You can have 1 more die, but she will become obsessed with your art, and she's going to follow you around the party if you're successful.
I'll take it.
Okay.
That's great, though. That's good. That's good. It's good.
Okay, so it's sway. Position is risky.
Position is
right?
risky. Oh. Effect is standard. You will have, prove your bona fides, and then some. But the consequences of failure will be that she ticks up that clock. Quilena discovers your scheme.
Right. Okay, so do I get a bonus die for that bargain?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Now, here's where I have to be like stab myself in the back. Does the bleeding is just affects effect. So, okay.
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you very much for reminding me. That's playing fairly. It does affect, and I said standard effects, so this will have limited effect.
Great, awesome. Yes. Thank goodness. Okay.
She's gonna follow you around the party, but not because she's fascinated by your art, because she's fascinated by you and thinks you're a very strange person.
It's kind of like, oh, what a charming curiosity.
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Okay.
Hey.
I got a 5.
Success with a complication. The complication is that Lafayette Brahm is furious that, one, you've taken Quilena Childermass away from him, and two, that you are definitely drawing attention, embarrassing him, and so he is now beelining it across the party to Kronz in order to get Kronz to do something, get our friend Selyak out of here. He clearly is out of his depth. He's creating a scene, and Selyak, Quilena pulls you aside and says to Christopher Tinmouth and to a couple other nobles there, she's like, everyone, you simply must hear my new friend explain his theories on art. They are quite amusing. Please share with them what you told me.
Simply that in everything there is a spiritual component and a material component. And the interaction of these two forces, which are held in delicate balance, is that which creates all things. How often we neglect the spiritual to pay homage to the material. This is why I consider my life to be the most potent artwork that I can devise at the present time. You understand, yes?
They all stare at you with their kind of holding their flutes in their hand kind of silently, and then one of them says, "How very interesting." Lafayette pulls you aside, Kronz, and is like, "What's going on here?"
What's the problem, my dear?
Your friend is not an artist, and he is. Quilena is suspects him. I can tell. I'm going to be ruined.
I kind of put my hand on his shoulder and like, don't worry. It's all going to be fine.
No, I have to protect my reputation. I can't allow you to destroy my entire career. Everything I have, everything.
No, my dear. We will not do that. Let's introduce you to Charlie over here.
It sounds like both of you are trying to calm him, or Valkos is kind of more trying to scare him. And Valkos acted first, so I can tell you that he clearly is in a very panicked state. Valkos, you are also in a panicked state.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So Valkos, what action would you like to use to do this?
I am going to... I think I'm going to use command.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Command, and let's see. You're going to take one die off, because I think
so then I've got no die.
Okay, so that's roll 2, and, take the lower.
Okay.
But if you'd like, you can push yourself.
No, I think I am going to do that. I'm going to take roll 2 and take the lower.
Okay,
so,
great. I can't wait to see how that goes.
How do I do that? So do I just...
In roll 20, it's a little complicated. I'm not positive that that's an option. It probably is, because they've thought of everything. But if you don't know how to do it, just roll 2 dice and we'll figure it out. We'll just look at what you rolled.
Risky.
Definitely risky. I don't think it's desperate yet. Risky.
Limited.
But you will scare him. Standard effect.
Standard.
Or you'll command him to stand down.
Okay, I'm going to roll 2 die and take the lesser. 6 and 2.
Ooh.
You fail, and he goes, "Unhand me!"
As soon as he hits the hand, I literally... I don't know, wait, no, because... Josephine, you did an action next, so I'm not going to do anything yet.
Okay, he does slap your hand away, and in that moment, perhaps you grab his wrist for a second, Valkos, and you're looking at the most exquisite hand you've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Long, strong fingers, beautifully manicured, yes. All right, Kranz.
I look at Valkos, look at Lafayette. I see the admiration of the hands. I'm just like, this is an issue. I don't want anyone looking. I'm going to grab a champagne flute from one of the passing trays that comes by, and I'm going to pour a vial of slumber essence in it. What?
Oh, that's
fantastic.
excellent. Okay. So you pour a vial of slumber essence in it, but you still need to convince him to drink it.
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna turn around and be like, okay, let's calm down. Look, and I grab myself a glass too, and I hand him. I'm like, drink. We are going to celebrate you tonight. We're going to celebrate your art as I bring your name into the mouths of all these nobles and patrons. Just come with me. Do not worry. Do not worry of what they are doing, because this will only make fools of them. We are going to make sure you shine in comparison.
What is your action?
Consort.
Yeah,
You want to use consort? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow you to use consort. That totally makes sense. And I'm going to give you a controlled position.
Oh.
And the reason why is Lafayette Brom loves to drink. He drinks too much, in fact, and especially when he's stressed. So you have used sort of a weakness against him, and you are going to have the standard effect that he walks with you and imbibes the, what was it again? Essence of...
It's a slumber essence.
Oh my god, okay. Go ahead and make that roll.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Six,
A 6.
baby.
He downs it in one gulp, which you're like, oh, okay.
Ooh.
And he begins walking alongside you, waiting for you to introduce him.
Yeah, and I've got an arm around, like, because I kind of know he's gonna fall over at some point, I guess. I don't know how quickly this works.
Well, because he downed it very quickly, it's going to work pretty soon. But I think that we should just kind of take stock of what's happening, because that fake artwork is just sitting there in that maintenance closet where Valkos left it. And you know what? I don't want to rush anybody. Take your time with this.
No. I would like as soon as he starts drift, if he starts
Well, I think that you're approached by some people. I mean, he's waiting for you to introduce him to some new contacts. And I think that someone walks up, and her name is Edie Ravenwood. Hello, hi.
Oh, hello.
We met, haven't we met?
Yes, of course, Miss Ravenwood. Oh, so good to see you. Mwah, mwah. Hello.
I didn't know that you were an art aficionado.
Oh, well, I like to dip my toes in every market if I can, and
I would describe this woman as gigantic hat. Like, she's all hat.
Great, yeah.
The hat is enormous. There are things hanging from it. It is quite a hat. You almost can't see her under it. Ow, wow. I just didn't realize that, yes.
Well, Edie, I've been smitten lately by the work of none other than Lafayette Brom here that I have by my side, who brought
and
me
Lafayette
to
immediately is like, what? Hello.
Are you... I'm so sorry, Miss Raven. Are you all right, Lafayette? We've had a lot of beautiful champagne tonight, you see.
I've been drugged.
Do not be dramatic.
Let's
see artists
with a fortune
drink.
roll. Let's see with a fortune roll if he's able to stay conscious right now. Okay, if he does well, he can stay conscious. If he rolls a 4 or 5, he's like kind of going in and out, and if he rolls a 1, 2, or 3, he's unconscious. He rolled a 3. So right after saying, "I've been drugged," he just collapses.
Oh,
and I kind of go to grab him, and I'm like,
"Oh my goodness, I think."
Oh my God!
Look,
what has happened to him? Oh my gods, I should say. We're in Doskvol.
Of course, yes. The artists and their drink. He's been a little bit nervous.
What did he say right before he passed out?
He hasn't been feeling well, and I swoop him up and I sort of go take him away.
Please, thank you. We'll get him home. We'll make
He said something about being drugged. Should we be concerned?
No, did he say that? I think he said he wanted to be dug. He digs clay for his work, his sculptures.
He said he wanted to be dug? Well, after that line, she is suspicious. Yeah.
This is like a terrible game of LA Noire where everyone's like,
can you blame them though? All right.
God.
Edie Ravenwood, please convince Edie Ravenwood that he did not say that he was drugged.
Yes, Doug. He wanted to be Doug because Doug is has been getting lots of attention for his work. You see, you cannot tell anyone actually this because Doug does not.
There's someone in Doskvol named Doug.
Yeah,
Stay
Doskvol.
with me.
We got Ekaprag Wody, we got Selyak, we got Edie Ravenwood, and then of course there's Doug.
You see, look, he acts like he is past his naming conventions, like his art has grown past, and so he does not tell anyone his name. But you will see, wave over to where Selyak is surrounded by people. Doug is getting so much attention tonight, and it has just driven Brom to drink.
Who's Doug? I'm not familiar with any Doug.
That is because Doug does not openly give his name. He's probably spouting the same stuff to all of them.
Are you pointing at Selyak?
Yes.
Ah, now I understand. You still need to make an action roll, and
Yep.
I don't want to belabor constantly meeting guests and having to convince them that you're on the level. So we'll just say that at this point, it's become desperate because this is the second time you're having to do this.
Yeah.
So this is a desperate position, meaning, and here's what's going to happen. If you fail this time, because she just saw a man pass out in front of her.
Yeah.
That makes people suspicious. If you fail this time, I'm going to fill up 3 pies on the Quilena discovers your scheme clock. And what are you using, action-wise?
I still want to use consort.
Okay.
I feel like I'm trying to win her over still, right?
Yeah, desperate. Desperate, and you will have the standard effect that you will allay her suspicions.
Can I have a devil's bargain, just because this seems important, for an extra die? Do you have one?
Yeah, you can have a devil's bargain. Let's see. I think that if you fail, security is going to come and talk to you.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
Okay.
Got a 6
nice
in there.
A 6, baby.
Right.
Well, I must meet this Doug.
Oh, but
I'm sorry, he doesn't like for us to use his name.
You cannot utter the name Doug, because it will send him on. He's the.
Well, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for not using that name.
Yes. It's quite unfortunate. Yes. Well, I can introduce you if you'd like.
Very good. And so she starts moving with you towards Selyak. And Selyak, you have quite a little audience because Quilena is
quite the crowd.
Well, quite frankly, mocking you. Valkos, you still feel that pistol. I'll make sure to mark that off on your on your inventory. But you still feel that pistol under your coat, and when you move over to Quilena Kronz with our friend Edie, Quilena suddenly goes, Everyone, is everyone listening? We're going to have the unveiling in 10 minutes. I cannot wait for you to see this work. It is life-changing. And it will haunt you for all of your days, I assure you. In just 10 minutes, we are going to feast our eyes upon a Vintaro Shook original.
Oh.
Yes.
I've done too many things.
That's okay.
I feel like we need
Selyak
a
or
flashback at some
Valkos.
point.
How is this plan going to come off?
Okay, yeah. So we got pistol. So we got
You need to get them out.
We got pistol distraction. Okay, so I'll have a flashback.
Okay.
We said at the end of months ago, at the end of our last episode, that I had begun gathering disciples. I want to see. I want to see how well I've done at these electroplasmic flute caterers. How many of them are my people?
Well, you'd only gathered one follower.
Okay, great.
And
So
that was the young woman Pravda.
Yeah, is Pravda? Did she do what I said? And did she join the catering team?
For 2 stress, she joined the catering team.
Great. And if she's a caterer, that means that she has probably a service entrance to the place, that she has access to probably like various dollies and carts full of glasses and bottles and kegs and casks, so that when this distraction takes place, we've got somebody who can slip a dolly, a cart underneath the white Sybil and begin to scoot it away while we begin to make good the swap.
So through the crowd, you see Pravda.
Right? Just like
Pravda
we planned.
is sort of.
Just
Pravda
like we
is
said.
she's sort of unassuming. She looks like the type of young woman who reads thick 19th century novels in coffee shops. And she's got her blonde hair in a very tight kind of braid, and she's moving a dolly toward the large sheet that is over the artwork right near the house, right near the steps that lead into the home proper. And she kind of gives you a significant look as she moves through the crowd, Selyak.
The builder's materials continue to complete his great work. Yes. All right. Yeah. And great.
Okay. Yes, Pravda is there, and she's ready with a dolly. And so, Valkos, would you like to take some sort of action?
So, want hands, right? Now, let me ask. When he asked for hands, did he physically ask for hands, or did he ask just for more people?
Just now?
Yes.
That's up for Valkos to interpret. I mean, you have to interpret your god. What do his messages mean?
So he was. So I assumed his mess. So okay, fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. What I will do then is I will. I feel like I've taken the artist to a safe location inside to lie down. And I sort of look at him and he seems very, very sleepy. How am I aware of how powerful this slumber essence is?
Maybe not as aware as our friend Franz is, but I will say that he is out. Like he's not like fitfully rolling around, he seems passed out.
Then I'm like, my people, we prefer the art of war, and what we do in war, I just take out a large butcher's knife, is we take Something to remind us of our pains and troubles. Yes. You will serve a brilliant distraction. And I pick up his hand and I just start hacking at it.
Okay. That is a controlled. I want an action. It's controlled, and it is for. It's for great effect. This will definitely create the most horrific distraction. Now you're inside of the house.
What the fuck? I thought Falcos was going to go to the maintenance closet, right?
You're inside of the house.
It's good.
Yeah.
Apparently, Valkos is not on maintenance closet duty. Good luck, Kronz and Selyak. But Valkos, what action are you using to rip off this artist's hands?
I am using skirmish, essentially, for assault.
Very good. Controlled for great effect.
And I'm going to, I'm doing that now quickly. So with great effect, yes, that's it. Oh, that's a critical. 2 6s.
Oh my god! Of course
So
it is.
as you chop off one of the hands in one move, like you're not
Right.
hacking, you go chop, and the hand rolls off, and suddenly he's very awake, and he goes, "Ah!"
And then I'm going to then brandish my gun and just pistol him. And then that's just headshot. Pop.
That's our cue.
Okay, that blows his brains all over the silk divan that he was reclining in. And outside, Selyak and Kronz, you hear from within the building, "Ah!" Bang! And everybody screams, and Quilena looks around and she says, "Everybody, I'm sure everything's fine.
What is going on?
Stay where you are. I will have my security deal with it." And she pulls out a amulet from her
I'm
bodice.
gonna shout that I see a gun, so that we can all in here to try and panic folks out to not listen to her. Essentially.
All right. What action are you using to get them to listen to you instead of her, or make people panic?
Oh shit! I guess that has to be command, huh?
I
That sounds like
I think
command.
that would be the most honest way to go.
Okay. I would like to push myself to get an extra die.
You certainly can take 2 stress, and you can get an extra die. I don't have a devil's bargain for you here.
Yeah, that's fine. This is risky, I assume? Desperate? Even?
This is... No, it's just risky right now. Risky for limited effect. You're not the host of the party. The host of the party is saying everybody stay here.
Yeah, I'm just shouting that I saw a gun, though. I'm not, necessarily giving...
You're trying to panic them.
Yes, panic them.
I still think it's limited effect.
Okay.
Would you like to take your push and make it for standard effect?
No, could I employ a flashback in this moment?
Can I assist?
You can.
Yes, of course.
Because with my veteran trait that I took, I can do that without taking stress. I assist without taking stress.
Oh, that's excellent.
But I would love to also employ a quick flashback to who is it? Pravda? What's her name?
Pravda.
Yeah.
Pravda. Look, there will be a queue that we have calculated at the utmost perfect time. There will be a gunshot. There will be security called to deal with it, in which point we will need to make sure we have a backup plan to get everyone out. This is where, and I would like my concealed palm pistol to have been given to Pravda.
Okay. That's easy enough.
This is where, when I shout that, oh, there is a gun, you must brandish this gun. and start shooting.
Okay.
Huh?
She's gonna.
All right. One stress, easy enough. Actually, 2 stress. You have to convince her to
I'll take the 2.
basically incriminate her and scare a lot of people and make herself. Yeah. Okay. 2 stress.
And
for that.
this is the will of the builder. Yeah, the will of the builder.
Okay. Very good. So now we come to your command roll again, and the gunshot. Let me go.
Are
ahead
we
and
still
say what has
limited
happened.
in effect?
The gunshot has happened. All right. Pravda pulls a gun. She's got the cart that she's supposed to take the statue away on. She pulls the gun and is like, "The builder is ascendant." And she's talking like the beginning of Pulp Fiction. Any of you fucking pigs move, and I'll exit. She's full Amanda Plummer right now.
Wait. Why would she say? No. We want them to move. We want them to move. That was very clear.
Oh yeah, she doesn't say that. I was just quoting a movie. She's like,
okay,
move. I want you to move. So let's have this command roll now, and it's at great effect. In fact.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess the assistant self, I'll just hold up on that for now.
No,
Well,
please do
she
still
needs
assist
die.
me.
She still needs to die.
So, and forgive me, the way assistance works, do I roll it, and then if I succeed, she gets an extra die? Is that how
No,
that
all you
works?
have to do is take stress.
But you have an ability
I
that
don't.
takes that away. Yeah.
That's right.
So, all right, and I pushed as well, so I've got 2 bonus. Here we go. Okay, there's a 5 in there.
Okay, success with a complication. And
It's fair.
here's what happens. All of the guests go screaming toward the gate, except for Christopher Tinmouth, Edie Ravenswood, and of course Quilena Childermass. And Christopher is like, This is some sort of caper. I knew there was something strange about you. And she's pointing at Kronz. He is rather, and Edie is like, they're criminals. They plan to steal the White Sybil.
Oh no.
Yes. I mean, it's gotten, as always, really chaotic.
What do you mean,
right
as
now.
always?
I feel like we, yeah.
What do I mean?
I caused the distraction, people. I'm just saying. I did my job.
Yeah, no, that's super distracting.
Yeah.
Quilena,
Well done.
Quilena whispers something into the amulet around her neck, and then 2 of the statues in the statue garden, huge, muscular, nude male forms, suddenly turn and start walking toward Pravda.
Oh shit.
Spirits.
Did Pravda like shoot at anyone? I'm gonna
No, I mean,
I'm
she
gonna
kind
do
of
a,
shot into
I'm,
the air like
I'm
you
doing
told her
a
to.
head nod at like any of the people next to us.
Now, keep in mind, you were supposed to humiliate
Yes, it's true. It's
Rather
true.
than rob.
It's true.
Quilena Childermass. You were not supposed to execute her and her
This is true.
friends.
This is true. I'm just gonna. I don't know what you're speaking of, and I'm gonna like go to run outside. Like, I'm getting out of here. You should too. There's a gun. Damn it.
So I think that you have to make an action right now.
Yeah.
Or Quilena's gonna send one of her guards after you.
Okay. I will try to sway them to believe. Sway.
That sounds right. Yeah. Desperate.
Yeah,
Make sure to mark that desperate XP
Yep.
too.
Okay.
And
Can I assist?
are you coming running out of the building with 2 severed hands right now?
I'm literally, it's not even a severed hand, it's going to be one. And while this has all been going on, I've taken the blade and I've gone for myself as well. And so the way is to look as if it was self-defense. And I said, and I'm going to come out and be like, whatever's going to be said, I'm like, yep, and here's the culprit. This is the guy, he literally just tried to kill me. He had a plan. and he was going to ruin this whole party.
Are you pointing at his hand, or are you pointing at... Yeah, you're pointing at his hand.
I'm pointing at him, and he had his hand. I mean, look at the size of me. Of course I took his hand out. That's what happens when you play with me. Anyway, but I'm just saying, like...
you have his whole body?
I have his whole body.
Yes.
Right, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, hey, sorry.
All right, you come running out of the building. You have the dead artist with you, who is somewhat dismembered. You are trying to convince them that he is the culprit and that he attacked you and that you defended yourself in self-defense. And the problem here is that Pravda has already pulled a gun and started firing into the air. And then on top of that, like, it seems like a lot to swallow. So, desperate for limited effect.
Oh my
Doug,
God,
say
he
something,
tricked
Doug.
us all.
Come on, Doug. Doug, man, come on.
Okay, so but he's a...
the fiction, we have decided that the fiction is that Valkos came running out of the building with a dead body, so...
But he's assisting me, right? Like, in that action, is that...
Yeah, that's an assist.
That was an assist. Yes. That was what he was doing to assist.
Sorry. So, forgive me. I thought that was its own role. It can be an assist. It can be an assist.
It's an assist.
So take. You know what? Normally, assisting is only 1 stress. I'm breaking the rules. Take 2 stress for that, Valkos, because it's such a whopper, and there is evidence that sort of contradicts it. And now you may take the dice from his assist.
And I'm also gonna push myself again and take another 2 stress.
Okay.
So this is sway. This is desperate. This is limited effect.
I think that it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. And
I mean, it's a success.
a 4. A
Means
4.
success with a complication. So Quilena says to her enormous statues that are coming toward you, she's like, the complication, what is the complication? She points to the girl Pravda and it's like, her! And then she points to, I think Valkos, who's covered in blood. Detain him! And now the statues are coming after Valkos and Pravda, but they're not coming after Kranz.
And how many statues are there?
Just 2.
Just.
Okay.
He was simply defending himself. We must get out of here. You must go to safety. Quilena, come on.
Can I
sort of
flashback?
grab their hands.
You should flashback. Yes, you should.
Right. I am going to... obviously, these statues are attuned and of some form of spiritual magical property. So I would say that I've spoken to my ghostly spirit friends.
Oh, yes.
And is there like a magic word that would send them and crumble them into dust that they would have shared with me? That maybe stops them?
That's quite a magic word. Listen, there is a word that will affect them, and you've learned it over the course. But wait, why would you have learned it? You didn't know about them. This is a big flashback. It means you found out about. Yeah.
Yeah. Could it be that with beating this guy up, maybe that he said like there's little to no security, and I pushed him to be like, what does that mean?
Yeah, so I think that you need to give me an action, and you have to be creative with this. How did you find out about these statues and then learn the code word that you need for them?
I think there was a sense of when here it is. Okay. So, when I was inspecting the area and seeing the place, I just come back from a great fun time with my spiritual friends. Is it Path of Echoes?
The Path of Echoes, yes.
Yeah. And essentially, what I ended up doing is, I just had this vibe and feeling of these statues. And I can roll an attunement here if you want me to, where I felt that there was something amiss about all these statues. And especially the fact that maybe they both looked quite similar in a way that they almost looked, Why would
Now
you have two of the same statues?
That is extremely well reasoned. Go ahead and make a roll to kind of, over the course of your flashback, have learned about these kind of strange statues. I totally buy that you would have noticed there are two statues that don't appear to look anything like the other statues. I totally buy that. So how did you talk to your spirit friends and learn the code word? Give me an action for that.
It would be probably attunement. Attune.
Okay, I'll allow it. Yeah, that sounds great.
I mean, now, can I push myself? Well, no, you can't.
In your flashback? Sure, you can. And I'm going to say that it was controlled because it's a flashback where you're talking to contacts you have, and it's for great effect.
Okay.
You still want to push yourself?
Yeah, I want to get the extra die.
Take 2 stress.
And then I take another 2 stress from the flashback, right?
That's right. I think 2 will do that. Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay. All right, let's go for this. Come on, baby. Luck of the die. Luck of the die.
Come on.
Oh, no. A 1 and a 2. So,
God.
We're doing so well.
As these statues come toward you, Valkos utters a code word. What code word do you utter, Valkos?
Desperado.
And when you once you say desperado,
You come to your senses.
Come to your senses, desperado. As you utter that, the statues suddenly, like, both their eyes start to glow red, and they start to kind of fill with like a red hue, and that red hue is kind of rising up through their sort of white skin, their stone skin, and you see cracks starting to open in them, and you're like, oh, it worked. They are starting to disintegrate. But you and I know that you rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay.
Perhaps you could be aware of your failure. Perhaps you never were quite able to, like, your spirit allies had a bunch of different words and theories, and you went with the one you thought was likely, and you're not sure if it has worked or not.
Okay, and so if that's the case, I mean, like, I can't really do much apart from live with the consequences of my actions. But maybe...
Yeah, we need there to be a consequence for the action. Well, no, not yet, because that was a flashback. I'm not going to make you take a terrible consequence for a flashback. I want to know what people are doing. I'm going to go ahead and review exactly what's going on. Okay. Guys, I really hate to say this, but it's happened before. You
Every
can
time.
fail a score. And it happened one other time. And sometimes it happens when weapons come out very early.
When did we fail?
We haven't failed. Jared offered that we could fail.
Right? And we didn't, guys. So this is my speech to us all, right? He's offered us failure.
Never say die.
Turn that into succession.
No, the
okay?
one where we
This
got
is it.
crushed by a demon, I think, is the one he's referring to.
What you
maybe.
don't realize,
Okay.
Jared, is that everything that appeared like a mistake up until this point,
This
everything.
was planned.
Everything was all
yes.
a part of our intricate plan. Wheels within wheels.
Calculating.
And at this moment, Celiac strides forward and is like, and as if he's going to talk down Pravda.
Okay, let me just review everything that's happening, and then you certainly can do that, Celiac. Pravda is brandishing a gun. She pulled it out right after Valkos set off a gun inside of the house. Valkos is on the steps into the house. He's got the bloody body of Lafayette Brom, who has a severed hand and a hole through his head. I said that brain splattered, so he probably looks quite gruesome, and Celiac is covered in blood. Kronz is trying to get everybody to run, including Quelena, but Quelena is probably right now furiously whispering into her amulet to get her statues to do as she has asked them, but the statues are taking on a red color and starting to crack, and you're not quite sure what that means. What did the Desperado code word do to them? Have I covered everything? I will just say that the other patrons have run for the hills, and now, Selyak, you may do as you like.
Yeah, this sounds pretty... It sounds pretty desperate. It sounds pretty bad. We're supposed to swap these things. We're supposed to humiliate her. It's total chaos. But like I said, Jared, what you don't understand is this is all part of the plan. So, yeah, Selyak is going to try to walk up to Pravda. Again, like, you do not have to do this. This is not the way. Whatever this person has done to you, the violence that you do here in this sacred place of art, this is not the way to bring such bloodshed into so peaceful a garden of delight.
What is going on here? Is this all part of your art?
And of course she was up by the statue, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can I as I approach, really shooting from the hip here, but except I'm not, because I promise all according to plan. As I approach, can I lay a hand on the sheet through which I feel the statue of the White Sibyl, and have a flashback?
Yes.
Okay. And we're on top of the tower, the overcross, in front of the altar of the builder. And us, like, I beg a boon from you. We wish to provide material for you to continue your great work. To make an exchange, a crossing of the ways, a bending of space. And Selyak wants to ask the builder to ask the builder to do a swap of the two statues. I'm basically almost asking for a spell to go off right now to make the White Sibyl switch places with the plaster effigy that Valkos found. But the way that I'm rationalizing this is like, and for this we will give you an offering. And I think the offering that I'm offering is Pravda. And with my hand on the stone and my hand on her, talking her down, which I have said is all part of the theater of this, I am offering the energy of her life to make this happen, so that it appears as though we are saving the day, when in fact we're just creating this switcheroo.
Okay.
I know that's insanely complicated.
No,
but
I'm gonna try to make this work for you, because I'm a fan of the players, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge you. How much stress can I charge for a flashback? I think I can charge 4 stress.
That sounds fair to me.
Let me make sure.
Because this sounds like almost 2 nested flashbacks, where I'm one having this thing with the builder, but also lying to, or maybe not even lying, being like, you're going to need to make a great sacrifice to Pravda.
Yeah, I think that this counts as an elaborate action that involves special opportunities or contingencies. I want you to take... I'm only going to charge you 3 stress for it. So take the 3 stress. How are you doing on stress?
So charged. I have 3 left.
Okay. And, you suddenly see Pravda's eyes fill with black fluid, and she lowers her gun, and it's like something is puppeting her, like she's like walking like a puppet, like away from everybody else. At the same time, perhaps only you're aware of this because it's not fully in this reality. It's not fully in this layer of existence. There are strands of black fluid flowing in sort of a artery type, vein and artery type pattern toward where the statue is under the white sheet, and you watch as those black fluid-like tendrils kind of crawl up under the sheet, and then for a second there's sort of a black stain on the sheet, and then no one is watching. Actually, let's see if anybody's watching. If they get a 6 or a 5 or 4, they see this happen.
Right.
Elena does. What? Go ahead, argue.
A 4, a 5, or a 6? And they
see with a complication if it's a 4 or 5. They got a 1. They didn't see this. Yeah.
There's a very elaborate and well-planned distraction going off. It's all part of the plan.
The black tendrils suddenly swing and whip the statue into the sky, because as we remember, the builder always comes down from the sky.
Awesome.
And now there is a sheet being held up by like a lattice of geometric black fluid, and it is waiting to receive the fake. I'm not going to allow you to completely replace everything.
Oh, okay.
Great. All right.
But
that's pretty.
I'm almost shocked that like you still went for the original score here, because of how things had developed at this point. So I want to go back to something Kronz was saying while you were kind of involved in all this. Kronz, what did you say?
This must be the great art of their life that they were trying to explain to us earlier. I say to the other 3 patrons here, what do we have? Edie and
Christopher and Quilena.
Is this it? Are we experiencing the art firsthand? I laughed at first like you all, but is this not thrilling? You not feel the blood pumping at this very scenario? I mean, yes, it's fulfilling.
Interesting. Desperate for limited effect.
I'm not doing that actually.
What is
and
your action
consort?
going to be? I'll allow you to do
Consort?
consort. Desperate for limited effect. Devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is, unless you fully succeed at a 6, they are going to still be angry because and try to arrest you or whatever because.
I'm not taking that bargain.
Okay, don't take it. Don't take it. Desperate for limited effect.
2 6s, it's a critical.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you still only get limited effects.
Okay, but it's a critical too.
So your critical earns you the fact that they now turn to Selyak, and they're like, and they turn to Valkos, who's covered in blood and has a dead man, and they say, "Wait, this is art?
This is all art.
But you've terrified all of us. The guests have left." Yes. Is this truly some sort of performance?
I'm gonna turn to Selyak. Is it?
And Selyak just kind of like just takes a bow.
But what about Lafayette? What has happened to him?
And this is where I do I mean, what happens if I stress myself out? Does that mean I'm out of the score, right?
Yes, and you take a trauma.
Oh my god. Okay.
And remember, I believe if you get 4 traumas, the character is out of the game altogether.
Yeah. Okay. I can simply just say that he took it too far. He couldn't handle the truth of what the art of you is presenting. And he attacked me. And I show them the scratch with the blade that he did here. And I just defended myself.
Oh dear, like the rest of us, he thought that this was real.
He must have.
Poor Lafayette.
This is the wave.
Still, I thought that some of his work was quite derivative.
Yes,
I mean, he
agreed.
certainly never created anything that you could showcase in your home.
Right. Well, it was showcased in your home. Whoa, what a marvel. Will be spoken of for ages.
Still need to replace the thing, guys.
Yeah. Hold. I
Perhaps
think
we
the
could
guests.
get some of the guests back and explain to them what's happened.
I think they must be still outside at this time. Would you like to invite them back in? It is your home, after all.
So she walks toward the gates of her house where let's see how many blue coats have arrived.
Okay. As
4
long as
blue
she's
coats
walking.
have arrived,
this is the
and there
moment.
are how many guests are left? We said that there were.
Now's the swap.
We said that there were 20 guests originally. I'm gonna roll if this fortune roll is high, then they have stayed kind of milling
Just
outside.
like outside?
If it's low, there's
Okay.
just 1 or 2 talking to the blue coats. It's a 4. I'm gonna say about 10 guests are out there talking to the blue coats. And Quilena says, "It's all right, everyone. There has been an accident, but the victim of the accident is not of noble birth. So we are going to dispose of the body, and we are going to continue the party. But first, I must introduce you to the most captivating and frankly troubling artist that I have ever had." So she is talking to the blue coats, to the people outside. What are people doing while she's doing that?
Getting that
Okay,
body.
meanwhile.
And I'm getting the moving the thing to under the space as they all talk.
Okay, so you are pushing it to the space, but you are bruised, and I need an action for you to do that because it's a big, giant, heavy statue, Valkos.
It's gonna be finesse.
Okay,
What's the big heavy
assist?
statue? The replacement?
the replacement, yeah.
Oh no, I said it was light enough to
lightweight
carry.
garbage.
Yeah.
I still think it's bulky and hard to move. I want
Okay.
an action.
May I assist in the move, or
You
am
may.
I great?
No, you're being introduced, aren't you?
Unless I'm being taken out there to be kind of introduced.
I
to
think
people.
that actually, forgive me, I think that is correct. I think that,
That sounds
she's trying
totally
to
right.
introduce you.
Just kind of like.
It's finesse, man. It's pure subtle kind of misdirection movement kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think that's correct. It's finesse. I think though that your bruised is going to affect it. So I think that this would have standard effect, but it's going to have limited effect unless you push yourself and push the effect up to standard.
Could I take a bargain?
Can I assist
Oh no, sorry,
as well?
go on.
You can assist Kronz. You're not being introduced to the whole crowd.
Okay, I would like to assist in speaking very harshly to Valkos after seeing the light in his eyes earlier.
All right, so you're managing the operation.
Yeah.
I think that the dolly is coming into play. That's how
Yeah.
you're finessing it. So are you? But still, we need. So you're assisting. So that's +1 die. Take a stress
Take
for
a
that.
stress. Yep.
You have a lot in finesse, but you still have a limited effect unless someone does something. So you give
Yeah, I
him
was
a
gonna
die.
was gonna say, could I take a devil's bargain for more effect?
Does that ever happen? Can you take a devil's bargain for more effect? What an excellent question.
Well, what's your position right now?
It's risky.
You can always trade and make it desperate
Oh yeah, could I do that?
for that effect.
Yeah, yes, you can.
All right, desperate for standard effect with an extra die. Here we go, baby.
Here we go.
Come on. I got 5.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Success with a complication. Here's the success with the complication. You move the statue over under the sheet, and as you do, the kind of lattice of weird black fluid kind of collapses and then kind of crawls up into your clothes and kind of attaches itself to you. And then it starts to sort of absorb into your skin to create like a new tattoo.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if that's cool though. Okay. Okay.
Good work.
Yes, my work is very site-specific. Much like life, it moves with the ebb and flow of the spirit which animates all things.
Valkos, the statue is in place. Kranz, the statue is in place.
Okay,
and
yeah.
The party is moving back in. But I will let Kranz and Valkos know that the security statues are now glowing and smoking.
What is happening? What's happening today?
Shit.
The crowd
see-
is moving.
Do I see
between
that? Do I see that on my way
sure,
back
yeah.
in? Can I roll a tune to see if I know exactly what's going on with them?
They're gonna blow
Yes,
up.
you certainly may.
Okay, here we go.
That's my attunement to Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5.
They're about to explode.
So I will say to
Valkos did get the correct word. It just didn't work the way he thought. It
Great.
doesn't make them. It doesn't make them like softly collapse. It makes them explode.
I lean down and I kiss Elena Childermass's hands, and I'm like, I did not wish to grasp, as it were, the thunder that you were attempting to make peel out for the debut of your own great artwork. It's only that I never know when the spirit will move me to create my next masterpiece. Thank you for providing, as it were, the chaotic venue for my latest work.
And the crowd is moving near the statues that are about to explode.
And
I am trying to get the attention of Valkos and
yeah,
Bryant, like,
I start I start slowly walking out.
Kranz?
Yeah. Yes. I'm leaving. Like, I'm just gonna try and slip out as well with
Everybody
with
trying to slip
Valkos.
out?
oh, I
Because we got the statue, right? We got the white
need a
symbol.
fainting couch.
Or at
I'm
least to be
spent.
on the outskirts of. I want a body shield.
Yeah,
The builder has the white symbol.
Okay, great.
So everybody's trying to slip out?
We duck behind statues.
I want to be. I think we should stay inside. Otherwise, we're gonna look. There's a bunch of blue coats outside.
Let's say, stay. Just be out here. Let's get into a safe.
The 2 smoking statues explode. Shards of granite go flying everywhere like shrapnel. The crowd is shredded by the explosion, which also releases a lot of heat. How do you escape? What action are you using? Selyak Khan.
Assuming that we've maintained our little charade, which, as I have to emphasize, was all part of our plan from the beginning. At this moment, when the explosion goes off, I don't think escape is really the word for what Selyak does. I think he's just like staggering out, like the last thing I would have expected at the party of so august an individual as Madame Childermass. However, there is a part of me that appreciates this chaos from an aesthetic perspective.
So you're just stumbling away.
Yeah, I'm just a party guest. To escape would be suspicious at this point.
Let's see how much you're hit by the stone shrapnel.
Ooh, let's.
If it's high, you're hit a lot. If it's low, you're not touched. It's a 4. You take a level 2 harm called stone shrapnel as a piece of jagged stone embeds itself in your body.
Okay, so when I say walked out, stagger out, I mean carried out on a stretcher.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. You could have used an action to escape quickly, but you were still talking about art.
I was caught up in the moment. I was too busy proselytizing. The line between cult leader and artist is fine indeed.
Yes. Now we come to our friend Kronz. How do you get out as the statues explode?
You know, feel free to have Valkos completely ignore what I'm doing, but otherwise, she attempts to grab Valkos. She goes, "This is the only art worth preserving." And I'm going to use my last item on my loadout that is utilizing the knowledge of blueprints. Blueprints is on here. And to go out like a escape exit that is in this building, in this like a side door, and sort of like escaping underneath or some safe, like a safe spot.
Excellent. Give me a action, and it will be benefited by your blueprints.
Can I use study?
Study, absolutely.
Okay. How is it benefit? What's the position here?
Well, the position would normally be desperate and like limited, because I just said that the statues exploded, so there's not really time to pull out blueprints and go, I can exit here. But because you have the blueprints, I will make it desperate for standard effect.
For standard effect, okay, and I can't take any more stress. And I'm attempting to bring Valkos with me, right? Like, I got 2 dice. Should I do you have a devil's bargain?
Oh my god, I think you guys made the devil's bargain the entire show. We can just roll.
Let me
think. Wait, let me think. Do I have a devil's bargain for you? Do I have a devil's bargain? You could... The blue coats see you escaping. More heat.
Ooh, that's rough. No, I'm just gonna risk it with the 2.
Well, that sounds fair.
Yeah, okay. 6! I got a 6, baby!
There we go.
Suddenly, Kronz, as the statues explode, pulls open a trap door, like a grate that leads under the garden, and you guys slip down into it just as the shrapnel goes everywhere, and the crowd goes, "Ah!" as they're ripped apart by the exploding statues. They're caught in the heat of their melting down. Soon the 2 security statues are just like melted slag in the middle of the garden. People are crawling along the garden, screaming, moaning for help. People are like, my face! Like they have like scars all over their face. And while they're all like crawling around, moaning and shrieking for help, the white sheet falls off of the replaced sculpture, revealing a very chintzy and terrible, quickly and poorly made statue. And that is where we will end for today.
Man.
What a great social...
so good to be back.
Social score.
So good to be back.
When your GM gives you the opportunity to escape, take it.
Perhaps I should have told you
get
that you could use an action, Ross Bryant. Would you like to? Do you feel bad about that harm? How do you feel about it? Say no more. You may remove the harm, because I did not tell you needed an action to escape.
Well, let me roll an action and see if I succeed.
Okay, yeah,
to make
let's
it
just
fair.
let's retrofit it a little bit. What action would you have used to escape?
I'll use consort since I was trying to talk my way out as maintaining my character as a performance artist.
Very good. Let's do it. And I'm afraid there's no devil's bargain, but of course you may push yourself.
That's fine. I'm just gonna roll it straight, and we'll see how we do.
Here we go.
Okay.
A 3, and so
3. So
my ruling stands.
That's right. I'm still shredded, but now I can accept it.
Can I wait? No, before you do that though, your loadout, right? You haven't used any of your loadout, my friend.
That's right. I could throw some armor on.
And you can resist any consequence.
Oh, we forgot how to play the game.
Thank you.
About how
God,
I haven't used any of my loadout. Let me throw some armor on this bad boy.
All right. Throw some armor. Do you want to... oh, my God.
Welcome back.
Welcome
It's so
back.
great to be back, guys.
That rule about resisting consequences, we have never used.
I know, we almost never do it.
Listen, we play wild, okay, guys? That's how we
warm
do it,
up.
you know?
Yeah,
Fast
so
and loose.
let me throw some armor on. What does that do to that?
Why don't you
level
just
2 armor?
resist the consequence?
Great, let's resistify.
I think that is you're gonna resist that with, unless you have do you have special armor that allows you to do that?
I have armor on my loadout, yeah. And if my load was light, so I can tick both boxes of it. So I have light armor filled up.
Okay, tick it, and you don't tick the, you
Great.
don't tick.
So yeah, if you, so maybe you could, when the blast goes off, you just hear the shrapnel like shred people, but as it makes contact with Celiac, maybe a little bit like rakes across his cheek, but the rest is like ting, 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 metallic clanks as it hits some of that, maybe some of the same sort of chainmail or substance that he has for that mask of his.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you're, if you're watching the airing of this, I can only imagine the 500 pleas from the audience to please resist consequences.
So many things we could have
Please.
stopped from happening tonight.
One thing I will say is that a lot of the problems weren't really caused by consequences. They were sort of caused by
Sheer brilliance.
thank you. That's the best way to put it, Abu. They were caused by the sheer brilliance of the plan.
Yeah.
There's
Whether
something
we
to,
missed some opportunities or not, I had a great time.
yeah.
Oh, I had a wonderful time.
This was a great warm up.
Yeah, there's a break. We're getting back into it. Some
Yeah,
might say that the
exactly.
level of like coordination on this plan and setting each other up for the bump set spike was off. Again, I got to say the plan was flawless.
Exactly.
In place from the beginning.
It worked.
There are wheels within wheels,
It worked.
and it worked.
I mean, look, if you get invited to a party and it blows up, I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Her
She
statues.
blew up for the wrong reasons.
Her statues.
Her
blew this-
security.
Yeah, that's so. What a fool. Truly.
Yeah, there is egg on her face and blood all over
What's left
her
of it,
guests. Yes.
Same.
Guys, great job. And I do mean that.
Great job yourself.
I may ultimately decide you failed to score, but great job today.
Fair's fair.
And, if you're out there watching or listening, you should just know that we are professional Blades in the Dark players who never forget a rule, who never make a mistake. And don't try this at home. Only we're good enough to pull this off. No, you should try this at home. Please buy a copy of Blades in the Dark. You can get them anywhere fine games are sold or online. And I just want to thank my players again, Josephine, McAdam, Abu Salim, and Ross Bryant. We will see you next week with more Haunted City. Good night, everybody.